story time that is every day at all 5 libraries. We have every Monday and Wednesday morning at our Yulee Branch Library, and then every Tuesday and Friday morning we have the same sing-along story time at our Fernandina Beach Branch Library.
What is sing-along story time?
Sing-along story time is one of my favorite programs. I get to be the presenter, and I get to talk and share stories with kids, sing with the kids. So our sing-along is like to get the wiggles out. But the purpose of that program is to begin emergent literacy skills and instill a lifelong love of reading and learning. I watch the children come in as babies, and then I watch them grow up, because they can come from baby up to 4. And then in the summer, of course, we have kids who, I've been there 18 years, so we have kids that have kind of grown up. They're coming out to the teen events, but they come and they join us for our sing-along story time in the summer. So we've been averaging 50 to 100 every story time. So it's a lot of fun.
I love this because, you know, I grew up at the library. My kids grew up using the library. My daughter just rediscovered the library. Had to go back and get her card again. And, you know, when you do what you do, which is you pick a different topic, like it could be magic, or it could be movies that started out as books, and then you present to the kids when they visit you all of the different options for books that could go along with that. And I feel like we need to test your selection skills by bringing in an expert, okay? A 5-year-old, of the books on your on this table, which do you think would inspire Nayland the most?
Check it out.
Which one do
you think you would like the most?
Is there
the magic?
So you like magic.
And so, like, if this were for a sing-along reading day, you would just open it and then you'd get all the kids. I mean, this is obviously a very wordy one.
Yeah, and I wouldn't use that for our sing-along story.
Not for the sing-along.
This is what I would use for the sing-along. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. I highly recommend Keith Faulkner. He's one of my favorite authors. And I love these because typically you try to use a story that rhymes with toddlers, but when you have a book that literally comes alive, you do not need it to rhyme. Example, how would you get rid of the hiccups?
How would you ever get the hiccups? What would you do?
What would you do to get rid of your hiccups?
Would you hold your breath?
Would you hold your breath?
Yeah.
Would you drink water upside down?
Would you drink water upside down? How fun would that be?
Or I had a little kid when we did this, says, I eat honey.
What?
I said, honey? It really works. Honey works, they said, and a teaspoon of sugar.
Those are 2 fun options. The hippo?
The hippo didn't solve it that way. So here is the hippo.
Oh my gosh.
And this is our pop-up, our hippo that pops up, and he's got the hiccups. He can't get rid of them. And then his friend comes along. There's his friends in the jungle. They come along, and they're trying to give him all these remedies to get rid of hiccups. None of them work. They said, hold your head upside down, drink water.
Oh
yeah, the stork says, you know, they all have different things. And then they all whisper to each other. And he wonders, what are you whispering about? And they all decide to scare him. They say, boo! And scaring him helps him finally get rid of the hiccups.
Good old-fashioned
good old-fashioned scare tactics.
Isn't it fun how whispers attract kids' attention?
They do.
If you're ever trying to get a room full of kids to quiet down. Now, my daughter's a preschool teacher, so that's where I got that one.
Yes.
Anyway,
yeah, you start loud and you go really soft.
So, Michelle, if you could leave us with this, where people can go to find a schedule of all of these events.
All the scheduled events. To highlight a few, today we're doing a All Together Now Let's Dance with DJ Roy at the Yulee Library at 2 p.m. And then we have our program next Thursday. Wild Wonders Animal Show will be here. Go to www.nassaureads.com for more information of all of our programs and schedules.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.